Into this red hot action, let's review the rules. Don't be a dick. This should go without saying, but better safe than sorry. Chat with me. You know that I can talk at my computer for hours, but it's more fun when my computer talks back. And let's have a good time. I don't mind getting sweaty, but we can have fun while we do it. Use the chat command deck for a link to the list I'm playing here. It's also in the video description. Some of these decks are sick, and you might want to play them in real life. In that case, let me refer you to Hemel from the Bazaar. It's never been more affordable to play in the flesh and blood. Players have been buying the cards they need from Hemel for years. I started buying from him in 2023 and have never found a better deal. The Bazaar's prices are the lowest for singles, full sets, and class sets, including new releases. Super Slam singles and more are available now and ship both domestically and internationally. Use the command Hemel for contact info, then reach out to see what he can do for you. Now settle in and get cozy because the stream begins now. Hello, it's me, Lupinefiasco, and now my mic is on. Playing Silver Age today. I didn't play Project Blue when that was a thing. I didn't want to give my time to a format that I didn't know if it's going to stick around, if it's going to be real or not. I was playing Classic Constructed a lot at the time for whatever event was coming out. But now, with the announcement of Silver Age, thank you. Yes, I was muted. Hopefully I'm not anymore. OBS seems to say that you can hear me. So playing Silver Age, I have been jamming games with a few different decks. I've been having Foon, it's pronounced Foon, with Silver Age in a way that I really haven't with Classic Constructed for a while now. Really been enjoying the format. I'm not going to pretend that it won't inevitably coalesce into the same top 5 meta decks that you need to play, or else you are at a distinct disadvantage. But for now, at least, it feels very wide open, very fun, very fresh. Aggressive decks can go over the top of defensive decks. I think there are a few standout heroes. Bravo Flattering Showman is a deck that I've run into a couple of times that just seems to be very strong. But I'm having fun just exploring the format. So what am I doing today? I have 3 decks lined up. If you check the thumbnail for the stream, we're going to be playing Aurora, Fi, and Kayo. 3 decks that I know from Classic Constructed that I wanted to try out in Silver Age, just see if they can stack up. So today we're starting with Aurora. Going to do a few games with her. Try Lexi with Death Dealer and Snap, using lightning cards to activate more, gain action points, and draw more cards. I will be trying Lightning Lexi at some point. I just wanted to start with the heroes that I know from Classic Constructed because I at least know a bit about how to build them in Silver Age. So like Aurora here, I mostly just took cards that I was playing 3 copies of, and now I'm playing 2 copies of, with a few exceptions. We don't get Our Gone in a Flash or Channel Lightning Valley, Skyward Serenade, so we've made some adjustments. So just showing this deck, I want to put out a deck tech for all 3 of the decks that I'm going to be playing next week. But for now, we'll just briefly run through before we get some gameplay. Which even let me just grab the deck link right now. These are all public if you want to try these. The links are all in the video description of this stream. So what am I doing with Aurora? Biggest downside to Silver Age so far is that there aren't a ton of equipment options. As you'll see, Blade Beckoner, we see a lot of that in Project Blue. But with Aurora being strictly redline, unless I'm playing against Icelander, playing Braces of Belief, which I just get to turn into 2 points of value. It's very hard to get more than 2 points of value out of a single piece of equipment in Project Blue. There are a few exceptions. Garland of Spring is kind of the stock standard equipment, and then Quick Clicks being our Snapdragon Scalar's substitute. Nimbleism is already a card that Aurora kind of doesn't mind playing. It's a 0 for 3, but also giving Go Again to Snatch, or Static Shock, or Skizzic. Even Lightning Form is very good. Lightning Form is kind of the card in here that looks a little unusual. Because Blade Beckner equipment is so common, turning your Garland into a Starfall attack just doesn't do a ton. You're just getting whatever Blade Beckner equipment they still have. But turning Garland into Lightning Form says your opponent cannot block this with one card. There's no 5 block in Project Blue Silver Age. So getting to turn Garland into a Lightning Form at some point is nice. And then the inventory I think is going to look pretty standard. AB1 within our class, Spell Void 1 because Braces of Belief is not super good against Icelander when we are boarding in 4 blues. Arcane Polarity is here for any of the arcane decks we might run into, and then Harness Lightning is a card that I'm trying for Guardian. It's just a way to close games out. Most Guardians aren't playing more than AB1 into Moonblade, so Harness Lightning is just a neat way to get 2 points of unpreventable damage through. So we've got this deck lined up. Let's pop over to Talishar, and we'll just run a few games with this, and then at some point swap over to our next deck, which will be Fi. Again, I've got Fi and Kayo lined up and ready to go. Just the decks that I played in Classic Constructed that I know a little bit about. I haven't gotten any games with Fi yet. Aurora has been kind of hit or miss as far as her power level compared to other decks in the format. She gets to do 0 for 4 Go Again deck, but without some of her really powerful cards from Classic Constructed being Grasp of the Arknight and Crown of Providence, blocking really well, Channel Lightning Valley being card draw on a stick. She does kind of seem to fall over to some of the more unfair decks in the format. What does my Runeblade board say? I feel like it's just this. Putting in Arcane Polarity instead of On the Horizon for Brier seems like we are just going to put On the Horizon back in. So I was playing Brier for a bit. I don't love going first here, but I do get to push a little damage, and I get to give Brier an interesting question to answer of how much do you want to block on this Arcanic Shockwave. If Brier just puts 9 in front of this, I mean, we already leak 1 damage through, right? If Brier puts 9 in front of this, I could always Lightning Press just to push a little extra damage. I am going to press here. I get 2 more damage over the top. Starting Brier at 17, I get an Arsenal out of the deal, and I wasn't going to convert that hand anyway. This is a really interesting hand because of the Quick Clicks. I get to decide if I want to use it now. We see that Brier is also on the Quick Clicks Swift Strike package. I think that's going to be standard. Personally, I don't like the bracers if we're playing just purely redline because Braces of Belief just does the same thing. But if you don't have any blues in your deck, you always get +2, as opposed to here, where Brier has to have the Nimbleism to activate the bracers. We're not blocking here. Like, this is really unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we had to go first in this matchup, and I think that's going to kill us. Because Brier's just sending a ton of damage. Like, she can break Quick Clicks, play a 0 for 4 with Go Again, then play another 0 for 4, and we're just taking a ton of damage this turn. Like, I don't have... This hand blocks for a grand total of 4. I really don't have another option here, unfortunately. Static Shock coming in. Yeah, this represents 5... Only 4 points of damage. The ability isn't on. And then coming in with... Yeah, this is like the worst case scenario. Is Garland? Oh, Garland doesn't even block. I mean, we've lost the game, so we'll just concede that. Just an unwinnable game when Brier's going to pop off like that. Wins the die roll, draws an insane hand going second. Not a winnable game from our position. And then, of course, our hand just doesn't block. despite having the 2 0-for-4s and Sigil of Suffering in the deck. We drew a very bad hand for what Brier was trying to do, to counter what Brier was trying to do, and then had to go first. So, try it again. Playing against Olympia. Just run as is. Play whatever the ninja sideboard would be. I can't imagine that what Olympia does in Project Blue. But that's why I'm excited to play this format, right? We're just doing open queue because I want to run into what people are doing. I want to run into the weird stuff that other people are up to. Decimator Olympia, so they're going to try to fatigue us. In with Crash Down the Gates. This is going to be attacking for 8. Showing our Snatch, and we're not going to lose the Snatch. How am I blocking this? I believe we could give our entire hand here. We could also give our Blade Beckoner in order to... I don't want to get hit by the Crash Down the Gates. But I also don't feel that I necessarily need to keep my Blade Beckoner. So we will block this out. I don't want to lose cards as much as possible. I also want to keep the Sizzle because it helps my hand convert. What does this hand do? This hand can send not a ton of damage, unfortunately. So I think what we might do here is play the Weave Lightning, play Entwine, fuse it with Sizzle, then pitch Sizzle to Starfall, and arsenal the Snatch. Depends on what Olympia is doing. I do want to kind of play around fatigue here by optimizing my weapon as much as possible. The other problem with this hand is that Weave Lightning and Sizzle don't work on Snatch. So it isn't like I could stagger these or say, I'll send Entwine for 4 go again and then Snatch for 10. I could break Garland here to push the Starfall damage through, but I really don't want to do that because I need to save my equipment for a big pop-off turn. If Olympia is trying to be defensive, then I want to be prioritizing these 5-card hands that push Burn Up Shock or some big amount of damage. So here we're just going to follow up with Starfall for 2 go again. Not planning to attack with Snatch, planning to arsenal it, especially if Olympia is not giving us cards. And we'll just arsenal this and pass. This hand is pretty okay. Coming in for 5, that's damage we can take. What does this hand really do? This hand plays Burn Up Shock. We throw the Shock at Olympia. If Olympia wants to give us a full card with Null Rune Boots, that is okay with me. If the Burn Up Shock hits, that means Second Strike is online. So we can do something like Second Strike for 4, pitch Static Shock to Starfall for 2, Electrostatic Discharge Snatch. If Olympia does pitch to the Burn Up Shock. Okay, Olympia does not. I'm not surprised by that. I do wish that this had go again, or I had a way to give it go again. Okay, Arcanic Polarity, gonna gain some life back. We'll send the Second Strike for 4 go again. Getting 2 cards out of Olympia. So if we attack with Starfall, I assume that Olympia just blocks with Galea, and then we're sending Snatch for 9. I don't know that that's going to be good enough, because we would want to pop our Bracers of Belief for the Snatch. I do think that's what I should be doing here. Oh, or we just hit. Okay. Seems wrong. I'm expecting an undo from Olympia. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like, there is a burn up attached to this. Give me a card or your Galea. I'm not going to use my bracers here because I would have to break the chain for that, and I don't want Olympia to have a point of armor block. But the fact that Olympia doesn't have armor left to block this means that he's either giving me 3 cards or taking damage. Oasis Respite, sure. Okay. All right, so the bracers would have gotten us there, which is unfortunate. With this hand, we will just set up. I'm going to probably play Fry, close the chain, play Sizzle, pitch on the horizon to Starfall. Dang, would have been good to know that the Braces of Belief would have gotten us there. I assumed Olympia just had 3/3 blocks. Close the chain, play the Sizzle, Starfall for 5, assuming we get a Blade Beckoner plating here to cover the 1. Olympia gets the last, quote-unquote charge out of it. And maybe another card just comes in with Dawnblade for 4, or Decimator for 4. Sure. Close the chain, put the Skizzik in Arsenal, waiting on a Nimbleism so that we can quick clicks it. There's a Nimbleism. Non-equipment card, so you are going to have this to 2, and then the shock will bring it up to 3. I believe is how that works. Yes. Decimator is going to trigger, it's going to bring it down to 3, and then we'll take 1. Arcane Polarity, okay, that's the last one. This hand is sort of unfortunate because we only have 4 cards. I'm not going to go with Burn Up Shock this turn. I want to set this up. But it's also kind of unfortunate that we are going to Nimbleism use our quick clicks here, because I want to clear out my arsenal. I don't want to take an intellect penalty this turn. So we're going to quick clicks, going to Skizzik for 7 go again, and then probably pitch Second Strike into Starfall. We're definitely doing that if this gets blocked for 7, because Second Strike will only attack for 3. But I am, still trying to play around fatigue, try to manage deck count. We are definitely behind our Olympia opponent. And the fact that Olympia always has a 1-card 4 is a lot better than what we can do. Steel Blade Shunt, okay. In that case, I am going to Second Strike here. We're getting 4 points of damage instead of the 2 that I would get from Starfall. Also not giving Olympia the opportunity to block with armor here. Sure, takes 1. We arsenal our Burn Up Shock. And this hand does not convert well, unfortunately. So what I think we're going to do is give Olympia some tempo here. I'm going to play a Lightning Surge, and then I'm going to pitch 2 cards to Aurora's ability. And the question, I think it's going to be Snatch that I keep, because I still have 2 Lightning Presses in my deck. So, attack with Lightning Surge. Unfortunately, none of our cards have Go again, which is pretty unusual for this deck. I found that this deck generally does have enough Go again to convert hands. But not seeing any of our instants is tough. Not seeing our remaining Fry. We still have 2 Ravenous Rabbles in our deck. Still have 1 Lightning Form, which is pretty cool because we have our Garland of Spring. Olympia just deciding how to deal with our attack here. Make an embodiment. This is specifically why I'm playing Aurora and not Brier. Because if we draw that hand in Brier, we just don't do it. We just send 4 and then IP 3. Whereas with Aurora, we can always pitch those 2 cards to make an embodiment, and now that embodiment is really going to help us this turn as we are looking to play Weave Lightning, Garland of Spring, Burn Up Shock, do both modes, Lightning Form for 8, go again, into Rabble, into Snatch. We just take the Decimator here. This is my big Burn Up Shock turn. I don't want to block with anything. Also, this hand does not block well. Break our Bracers here. Break our Garland here. Weave Lightning first. Send Lightning Form for 10, go again. Olympia does have 1 point of block value left on the prized Galea. We're not going to give him the opportunity to use Blade Beckoner Plating here. And we have all of our on hits. So yeah, we're just sending this hand. This hand is presenting 22 points of damage. We've seen the 2 Arcane Polarities from Olympia. So putting him in a really bad spot for actually blocking this. I mean, this could be an unmovable from Arsenal, which would block 6. I'm assuming that we're going to see some on the horizons. So, you know, Olympia could block this, and if Olympia does block this turn out, then we probably just die, because this is our last big turn, and we still have to deal with the 1 card 4 every turn with Decimator. I wonder if there are any wager cards in Olympia's deck. Like, I gotta wonder why is... Oh, you play Olympia for the Galea. That's why you play Olympia instead of a, like, Decimator Dory. Because you want, yeah, because you get block 3 out of this. Or like the reaction here, and that's how you get your gold. See what Olympia has lined up to deal with the Lightning Form. I would love if this Lightning Form hit. I'd love to bank an embodiment of Lightning for my next turn. If we had an embodiment of Lightning on our last hand, of course you're playing Sirens of Safe Harbor. God, Fatigue is so, ugh. I do not enjoy playing against Fatigue decks. Pitch a card from hand, play Oasis Respite. Would be really good for us. Would be insane. Right, unmovable. Surely giving Sirens here was not right, but, you know. Ooh, a Sigil of Suffering to put in our arsenal for me. Okay, we're evening up the life totals. Get to put Olympia to 8. We put a Sigil into our arsenal. And this hand converts, sort of. Oh, this hand does convert because Scar for a Scar has go again. This were to lower life total. So I don't know that we have a reason to stagger our Nimblism. I think we just play it. Send the Scar for 7, into Rabble for 4, into Flittering for 4. Pushing, what is this, 15 damage this turn? We're not giving Olympia a chance to use Blade Beckoner, so he's going to have to give us 3 cards to not be dead. We're still sitting on the Sigil of Suffering, which, if Olympia can't keep a card to pitch to Arcane Barrier, means that he will be taking 4 from it, or sorry, 1 from it. We've not played a Lightning card this turn, so I'm not going to worry about pitching to Starfall. Battlefront Bastion, prevents 1, takes 1. That is our... We do still have a Scar for a Scar in the deck, but I don't think that's a reason to hold this Flittering charge. I think we just send it because this is also damage prevention if Olympia blocks. Yep, put Olympia down to 6. So at this point, Olympia's just waiting for us to stumble. Thankfully, our deck doesn't do that, except for that 1 turn when it did. I think the line here is going to be Fry into Starfall, pitching Discharge into Scar, and just letting Olympia think that we stumbled, so that maybe Olympia takes extra damage from the Lightning Press Fry probably gets covered by a 3-block. We keep a discharge in our deck for our other attacks. Still waiting to draw our second on the horizon. That's fine. Send the Starfall here. I could see this getting covered by the Blade Beckoner just to get the last point out of it, which I'm not overly concerned with. We haven't shown Olympia a Lightning Press yet. I wonder if he would think that we just don't have one. Battlefront Bastion, doing some good work there. So let's send the Scar for a Scar, coming in for 4, Olympia preventing 1. If Olympia gets greedy and doesn't block this, we just win. If Olympia only blocks with a single card, then we are putting Olympia down to 3. If Olympia blocks again, then we just hold this Lightning Press. Yep. Go ahead and press here. Not killing Olympia. This is dealing 4 points of damage, and then Olympia is going to gain 1 back, so still, going to 3. Hey, it's our On the Horizon. So we now have an interesting choice. I believe because Olympia knows this is Sigil of Suffering, I assume he's just holding this instead of taking 1 unpreventable arcane damage. If that's a blue, Olympia can only pitch to Great Axe and then not pay to Null Rune Boots. So let's think about how we're going to use this hand. We do have the Lightning Press, which I am going to have to show Olympia. But it does put us into a really neat spot where I get to entwine Fuse Lightning Press, and then Olympia has to respect the Entwine Lightning. Then I get to Arcanic Shockwave, Fuse Lightning Press, deal another point of damage, and then I can play the press. On the Horizon here is kind of a problem because I cannot do anything with it. I can't, neither of these are lightning. So if I really wanted to convert this hand, I could press the Entwine Lightning, pitch On the Horizon to Starfall, and then play Arcanic Shockwave. But I would rather keep the Arcanic to sort of incentivize Olympia to pitch. I don't have to fuse. This presents lethal damage. So I don't need to worry about pressing the Entwine Lightning until Olympia shows me what he's going to do. Shunt here covering 4 points of damage, so Lightning Press still lethal. And because Lightning Press is still lethal, I'm thinking I might want to play it here so that I can convert this hand. And because Olympia is now floating resources, I'm going to press the Entwine. Second Steel Blade Shunt, that's fine with me. We will send Starfall for 2, which could get covered by the Blade Beckoner. Covered by a full card from hand. Interesting spot for us to be in. I think I still send this. And Olympia takes 1 if he blocks with a 3. I guess we haven't seen the second Oasis Respite. Takes 2, goes down to 1. It's pretty good. So this Sigil of Suffering is now lethal damage. He almost sure had 2 D-reacts. I could, yeah. I still think it was right to do what we did, force the second D-react, and then also, in hindsight, hey, we put Olympia down to 1. As far as converting this hand, we have 3 cards that I should know what they are, but I don't. We don't have a Burn-Up Shock. We have no more pumps except for this Sizzle. We have the Sigil of Suffering and Arsenal, so that is a... I'm thinking, please bear with me. We have... Weird. Interesting. I'm going to play the Sizzle. I don't know why I did that. We will send Starfall for 5 go again. This will get covered by Blade Beckoner and possibly Oasis. What do we have in our deck? We have one more Arcanic Shockwave, which should come in handy. So what we could do here is pitch our 2 Static Shocks to Aurora. I think that's better. Olympia can't just dump his hand because we have our Sigil of Suffering and he's at 1. So if he like plays a Sharpened Steel. Yep, we wanted the Embodiment of Lightning. So we can block with On the Horizon. No, I guess we don't want to. Sorry, we're gonna take 4, we're gonna go to 3. I guess I can block with Blade Beckoner. We take 3, we go to 4, we play Arcanic Shockwave, fuse with Electrostatic Discharge, get a card from Olympia, get more cards on the block, play Electrostatic Discharge, pitch On the Horizon for Starfall Lightning Surge, and then we just win the game. Still putting Olympia into a position where he needs to sandbag a card every turn, or else we just kill him with Sigil. And banking this Embodiment of Lightning was really nice because now we get to actually play out this entire hand. So we are going to go ahead and Arcanic Shockwave. I'll actually fuse this with Lightning Surge. Olympia can tell what our last card is just based on looking at our deck and seeing, what are there not 2 copies of in here? Oasis Respite, pretty nice. Gain a life, prevent the Arcane, and prevent the 4. That's pretty good. Go ahead and send the Starfall for 1. This is going to get the Blade Beckoner plating, which will put Olympia down to 1. And then Lightning Surge for 7. Should be enough to get us there, unless this is D-React 3 block. But even then, we're still in a position where, okay, here's 1 damage every turn. Do you have the D-React? No, so we get there. That's concerning that thinking Please Bear With Me ended up being that was a cool play, because that just seems like BM, and I don't want to BM my opponent when I'm saying, hey, please don't get impatient with me. Kasai, let's go second, I guess. Again, queuing up like we were Ninja, where we're not playing blues, we're not playing Arcane Polarity, and we're not playing Harness Lightning. What do you do? Temper 1 on hit draw. Blossom of Spring. Nullrune Bolters. What does this hand do? Not a ton without Go Again. What was the result against Olympia? We won. We beat the Olympia with 4 cards in deck. I kind of don't want to block the Hot Streak with an attack action card to give it Go Again, but I also don't want to block with my Burn Up if I can avoid it. Maybe we'll just give Armor here and put it on Olympia to have the React and to play it. And then we get to put 5 in front of the Centauri. Just didn't really expect Kasai to be playing attack action or reactions that aren't Go Again. So I guess that's on me. If I'm trying to set up this Burn Up Shock, I'm just pushing some damage here. So I think it's going to be Fry, Starfall, Pitching Lightning Surge, Shockwave, Fuse, Burn Up Shock. We're just sending a 3-card 10. Notably, Casai here is not on any Blade Beckoner equipment, so our Garland Starfall could actually deal damage. I'm noticing a trend among the warriors here, playing blue Sirens of Safe Harbor. No, this hand is not good. Does this hand do anything? This hand forces blocks, right? Play Burn Up Shock. Kasai takes one. Play Sizzle. On the Horizon pitches to Starfall. Bracers of Belief, Arcanic Shockwave for 6. Awkward hand with Kasai giving us full tempo and us not really being able to use it. Let's go ahead and pop the Bracers. Showing a Lightning Press on top. All right, we're gonna do this. I'm going to set up for my big Burn Up Shock turn with a Lightning Press on top of my deck. We're just going to pitch these two to Aurora. It's like not great, because I was going to do a ton of damage this turn. Bricking with these two was not what we wanted for the turn that we were setting up. Oh, great. Never mind, we're now super far ahead. Yeah. Oh, you banked a resource, I see. So this will hit, you will break Blossom, we'll send Centauri for, I mean, this is a good turn. This is a very good turn for having no cards in hand. Wait, how did you have a resource? Did I miss something? How did Kasai have 2 resources? Ah, because you're original. Oh, that's why I'm confused. Because this is original Kasai. I get it. I was like, this doesn't make sense. Because I mean, I was expecting, I was mistaken. This is new Kasai, not old Kasai. So burn ups here, dealing 2, threatening. Second Sword is free, yeah. Because it's old Kasai. Burn up here, threatening 8. So we are threatening lethal this turn. The question is, do we want to Starfall? I guess I don't need to make that decision yet. So interestingly, Kasai knows that we have a Lightning Press. The question is she going to block, assuming that we have the second Lightning Press? No. We don't need to Garland here because we already hit. I'll save the Garland for the 2 lightning forms that are still in my deck. If Kasai had just given us like her whole hand to stop this damage, then I would have Garlanded for Starfall. But we just don't need to do that. And this hand is fine. Weave Lightning here is a little awkward. We do get to pitch the Weave Lightning to Starfall. We'll play Electrostatic Discharge. We'll come in with Scar for a Scar. So we are threatening lethal. We do a Sigil of Suffering as well, though Kasai presenting AB1, so we won't just get there. But she does need to block the Scar, so giving us, I believe, 2 cards. Hood blocks for 1. And that's all that it blocks for. The Vigor here is going to send Hot Streak into Saber for 2. We're just sitting on Sigil of Suffering at this point. We should have 1 more on the horizon in our deck. Somewhere, towards the top-ish. Going to 2. This hand is pretty good. We get to... We're probably blocking with something weirdly. This does have go again. So Casai will activate Hood of Red Sand with one of these resources. How am I blocking this? With a floating resource, she can pay for the Centauri Saber. So I believe that I do need to block here. I wish I had better blocking cards. We can block with Scar. We can block with Entwine. We can block with the Sigil of Suffering. That seems reasonable. If Casai doesn't activate the Red Hood, the Hood of Red Sand, then I just do nothing. Hot Streak coming in for 4 is kind of unfortunate. What I might just do here is block with the Snatch. I think we were outplayed. I was expecting the Casai to activate Red Hood. But now I'm just going to arsenal this Nimblism and wait. Another hand that doesn't really block all that well, which is kind of just this deck. I'm not going to pretend like, wow, I can't believe my deck isn't blocking for 3. Hot Streak for 3. I think I need to just take this to not give it go again. We've seen reactions out of Casai, so this could just kill me. Does it dominate? Okay, so we just lose. All right, I feel like I definitely misplayed that game, and I don't know how I was supposed to play it better. I was supposed to not block as much on the previous turn and present lethal. The reaction-based decks, I think, are going to be very strong in Silver Age, where D-reacts just don't exist very much. Like, we have 2 in our deck, and we're like the good deck for D-reacts. I would try to go 1 on the last turn and hold Snatch, Scar, and Nimblism. Okay. I have a Sigil of Lightning on top of my deck. Or a Sigil of Suffering. Yeah, I guess that's what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to play riskier there. I was thinking excuse me? That's cool, opponent. I like when my opponents gain information and then undo. But opponent also had a block that they were supposed to pitch, so I'm not going to give them too much grief about it. Yeah, I'm supposed to play riskier there. I was just, I don't know, I was scared, and I shouldn't have been. What does this do? Reveal a card with Crush from your hand, create a Seismic Surge token. I think the heroes that have decent equipment will be best in Sage. I agree. I haven't done too much testing in this format, but so far I think Aurora is not good enough. Some heroes have trash equipped options. I think Aurora is a hero that really suffers from not having good class equipment at common. Promising Terrain. If you would create 1 or more seismic tokens, instead create that many +1. At the beginning of your action phase, destroy this. If you control 3 or more seismic tokens, so you're going to now break your Richter scale and make 3 seismics. That's sort of unfortunate. So I am going to pitch Sigil to Starfall, discharge to give it go again, second strike press, and just convert the hand. Hopefully Pen opens up some more options. Like the fact that everyone is running Blade Beckner equipment, I think Guardian weirdly is not one of the classes that needs to do it. They just won't. Like, it kind of makes sense that our opponent is doing it here because why not? But I think this Bravo in particular is being a little unoriginal with the double Blade Beckner. It's just so hard to pass up on that value, right? But that is one of my complaints so far about Silver Age, is some of the equipment options, like some of the heroes are just so boring with the equipment they can play. Aurora being one of them. This is not a Runeblade problem. This is an Aurora problem, because the other Runeblades can play things like the gloves that make a rune chant, the chest that makes a resource and sacrifices an aura, Fluttering Showman into Cartilage Crust for 9. My first action during their turn costs an additional 1 to play. I believe this is fine because I am just setting up this Burn Up Shock, which means that I can block with Weave Lightning. Oh, this Bravo's AB 0. Okay, so I can block with Weave Lightning and then play Sigil of Suffering, connect for the 1 Arcane, which means I'll be blocking 6. I just send a 2-card 8 and then Arsenal Burn Up Shock. Take 3, we're not crushed. If the Snatch connects, I don't know, we take the Intellect penalty. Runehold Release, Blood-Torn Bodies, you can play Subclass Boosts or action points. Yeah, Runeblade is good, but Aurora gets none of that. Totally agree. The next hero that I'm going to be queuing up with, I think this is my last Aurora game for the day. The next hero I'm going to queue up with is Kayo, and Kayo is, great equipment. Knucklehead is insane. The chest, whose name I forget, that makes resources is nuts. Beaten Tractors is fucking fantastic. Beaten Tractors is, broken in this format. You get to play Savage Feast in a format with Beaten Trackers. Okay. That's sort of... Does that matter? So I can do more setup if I want to. I can play this Burn Up Shock, and the way that I convert this hand is Entwine Lightning, Fusing Flittering Charge, Skizzic Pitches to Starfall, play Flittering Charge, Arsenal Lightning Surge, which doesn't seem very good. Threatens 1, 5, 7, 11 damage, or I just send 8 and make an embodiment, which I think is what I'm going to do. My follow-up here will be, suppose, Lightning Surge is a card that I would rather not have left in my deck. Oh, this is about to pop. Maybe I'm supposed to threaten Bravo's hand a little more aggressively so that he doesn't get to just do insane stuff with Edge of their Seats and Showman ability. Do the Burn Up Shock. Entwine Lightning. Could get armor. Yeah, we're going to push here. Fusing with the Skizzic, which Bravo knows that I have. Beaten Tractors huge, 1 Battle Worn with a good effect is so nice in this format. Yep. Beaten Tractors are nuts. Barkbone Strapping. Thank you. Wisely not giving us... Double Pummel. Okay. I don't mind seeing that. Do I want to break Bracers here? Breaking Bracers gives a point of block left on Buckler. But I think I'm still fine to do that. And then we send Flittering Charge for 6. Ooh, showing an On the Horizon on top is pretty cool. Getting cards, getting the Quicken is really nice. Played Vincent into Bravo at Locals the other day. It was a grind. He can fatigue you. Just got to step on the gas. Being another great card in this format, Pummel is scary. Yeah, I'm glad our opponent just blocked with 2 Pummels. Titan's Fist for 7. I guess I'm blocking with On the Horizon. Yeah, this is Elemental Runeblade, which is too bad. So I'm going to block with On the Horizon. I'm going to play Scar for a Scar with the Go again. Play Lightning Surge. Play Harness Lightning. Block there, block there. We have an Arcanic Shockwave on top of our deck. like solidly in command of this game, so I guess I do play Scar for a Scar. This hand converts if we really want it to. I could pitch Arcanic Shockwave to Starfall and then play Harness Lightning, and maybe that's gotta be correct, knowing that we have another Shockwave on top of our deck. I don't want to have a card without Go Again in my arsenal and a card without Go Again in my hand. Harness Lightning seems clunky. Are you on it mainly to punish people who aren't running AB3? Yes, I am playing it to punish Guardian. Because in my experience, Guardians are mostly playing AB1 and then just blocking with everything. So if I get to put Guardian down to like 4 and then have 2 Harness Lightning turns, I should just win the game. Chokeslam for 10 with Dominate. How much do I care about this? I don't care about the effect. I guess I do. Because Second Strike won't get +1. I think I'm blocking with Arcanic Shockwave so that if Bravo blocks the Entwine Lightning, I don't IP. As my plan is going to be Entwine Lightning, Fuse Lightning form, Break Garland Lightning form. If the Entwine hits, I get to Second Strike. But if it doesn't, I don't. So in this case, I will just send 9 with an on-hit Breaking Garland. I have a Sizzle, you have a Thunderquake. Okay. Break the Chain, Break Garland. Lightning form for 5. This could just be block card from hand. It is instead just block 6. That's interesting. This hand sends 15, which doesn't seem good enough. I think what this hand will do instead is send 12 and then arsenal a Nimblism for my quick clicks. I wish this was better than it actually is, but this blocks 9. We could probably assume there's like a Test of Might in here. What a weird hand. Sometimes Aurora does just draw these hands where it's like, good thing I arsenaled an attack so that my turn does something. Test of Might, we won. Wow, thanks, Skizik. Nice Guardian hand. I know. Boulder drop for 7. I can stop this. So I could do a cool thing this turn, which is block 5, play Sizzle, play Harness Lightning, not use the Sizzle. I think I'm not supposed to do that. I think I'm supposed to play like my hand functions and just take 7, go to 2, top snatch, play Nimblism, Sizzle, Quick Clicks, Skizik, Harness Lightning. Can actually block with Sizzle. I'm gonna block with Snatch. Top the Sizzle. Aurora might be leveled, I know. Yeah, this would happen even if with CC. She's kind of flexible where she can go bigger. I love Aurora. Aurora's my favorite hero in the game. And yes, she was broken when she was in CC. I understand. Harness Lightning just wins you the game. Harness Lightning does just win me the game. Harness Lightning wins me the game, but this is the flashy line where Bravo can't deal damage on my turn. It's also like baits things that Bravo might be able to survive with. If Bravo was playing Oasis Respite for some reason, then we bait it out and then I Harness Lightning them. I think it's good. I think it is a strong card. So that's it for Aurora. What is my verdict on Aurora based on these games? She's just very fair. Let me pull up this Kayo list. We'll talk why was she so good in CC. Her ability isn't too crazy. Her weapon is solid. It was just her card pool. She did everything well. She did damage very well. She played defense very well with a bunch of D-reacts and electromagnetic somersault. She could race aggro. She could combo with flittering charge. She didn't have counters was her problem. Everything that was supposed to counter her died to arc flicker. All of her aggro matchups she would win because she raced harder and she had a fridge. Her ability didn't matter. It was her card pool, and that's what made balancing her so difficult. Flittering Charge was like the ban. They should have banned, not Flittering Charge, Flicker Wisp. They should have banned Flicker Wisp, which would have made Enigma a much harder matchup. Guardian just kills her. But outside of Flicker Wisp, there wasn't a good ban for Aurora because all of her cards did the same thing. They were just 0 for 4 with Go Again, or 0 for 4 that didn't use an action point because she was playing Sigil of Suffering, Sink Below, Shelter from the Storm. And then she also had Burn Up Shock, which was 0 for 5 Go Again. She had Channel Lightning Valley, which was insane because it could be Pot of Greed. It worked on their turn, so you could, maneuver with shocks. She had Sigil of Suffering, Channel Lightning Valley, which was so hard to play into. And because she's a Rune Blade with Sigil of Suffering and Channel Lightning Valley, everyone has to play AB1 into her, which means they're giving up a good piece of equipment. I wonder if the same thing will happen when she comes back to the format. She's going to need bans when she comes back because, it isn't her hero power. It's her card pool. Start her on less health, ban Flicker Wisp, and see what happens from there. But anyway, that's CC. We're here to talk about Silver Age. So now I'm going to queue up with Kayo. This deck has felt very good in testing. Knucklehead is nuts because it blocks 3 and has text on it that doesn't matter. Barkbone Strapping blocks 1 and then cheats resources, which is something that doesn't happen in this format very easily. Beaten Trackers is his best piece of equipment because it turns Bare Fangs into Go Again. It turns Wild Ride into 2 action points if you need it. Most importantly, it turns Savage Feast into the absolute best card in your deck because you get to pitch a blue, attack with a 1 for 6, cheat the action point, float 2 resources that you can also attack with your Mandible Claw, which now has Go Again because you've discarded a 6 this turn, and then you have a blue and Strongest Survive, or Buck Wild, or any of your 2 for 6s or 2 for 7s. It's just the equipment is very good. The card pool is also very good. He's, at least in my opinion, having to run some clunkers. I don't love Clash of Agility, Clash of Might, or even Give him a Piece of Your Mind, but this is a deck where he gets to do what he does in CC, which is play Wild Rides, Buck Wilds, Pulpings, Bare Fangs in red and yellow, but he's missing his 2 for 8s. You don't get Swing Big and you don't get Show of Strength, so you have to play Give him a Piece of Your Mind. Clash of Might and Agility aren't the worst cards you can play. They're fine. They block 3. Everything in your deck is an attack because you're not playing Song of Sinew, Cast Bones, Blood Rush Bellow. So you should be winning clashes more often. So blocking 0 for 4 and it being a 2 for 6 at the end of your Wild Ride Mandible Claw turn is fine. My sideboard is pretty linear. There's nothing in here I'm not playing Humble, which I think could be good in the mirror. Just playing Pack Hunt for Guardians, Pulping for aggro. I'm still messing with the sideboard more than anything because Kayo doesn't have a ton of silver bullets at common and rare. And without knowing what the format is going to be, I'm not sure what silver bullets I should be playing. But this is the Kayo list. Let's head on back over to Talishar. We'll get some games with this. I've been really impressed with Kayo so far. He does damage, he blocks well, he presents breakpoints, which can be very strong. I don't have my Rune Blades set up yet. I guess I'm playing AB1 for Chane. I'm not 100% on that. Against Chane, I don't know how much I need to respect his blocks or D-reacts. So I'm just going to be aggressive and see what happens. I think I've played against 2 Chanes so far. This is my 3rd one. The first Chane just did the absolutely insane thing where he did double Rune Gate by turn 3 and did 20 value over the turn. The second Chane I played against did nothing and then died. So We'll block 5 here. Keep my run roughshod, I guess. I can't block with this Bare Fangs. Nebula Blade is not currently online. So Vexing Malice, I'll AB1. And I guess block with run roughshod, why not? Thank you all for being here, by the way. All 45 of you in chat right now. I appreciate you coming out to watch some, oh, this is not good. Some Silver Age content. This is rough. Really needed a blue to turn this hand on. We're just going to send Strongest Survive for 7 and make Chane deal with it. Arsenal the Savage Feast. Look to block with some armor on the next turn. Like me, I wonder if I was supposed to block the Malice with Beaten Trackers just to have blocked with Beaten Trackers and keep a blue in my hand. If this had a hand of blue, it goes nuts. As it is, we're taking advantage of the fact that Chane's armor really doesn't block. The Blade Beckoner blocks 1 and that's it. And hopefully his hand is non-attacks, where he has to care about Strongest Survive instead of just blocking with a card and showing me Runegate. I'm gonna pitch 0 here, unfortunately. Give me 1 minute. Our Roomba just started, so I need to very quickly close my office door. Okay, setup turn for Chane. I'm sure that's fine. That won't be a problem. Good morning, Steven. We got a bunch of blues. We have this Wild Ride. I am just going to Wild Ride and see what happens. I do not need to break my Beaten Trackers. Again, I would love to block with them before I use them. But we get to do the really cool Kayo hand where we play Wild Ride into Mandible Claw into Bare Fangs. It's in a good old 6/3/7 in a commoner format. Pushing big damage, sitting on our Beaten Trackers, which I would like to block with. Also sitting on our Savage Feast, which does the thing with Beaten Trackers. Notably, our deck doesn't have misses in it, so all of our draw discard effects will hit. We have a ton of armor for whatever Chane's turn is going to look like. He's keeping cards. I assume it's going to be something gross. But we shall see. What's weird is on that last hand, on this Strongest Survive turn, I just realized if we had pitched to AB1, Chane was holding double Malefic incantations, he would have had to discard one of these. Which, if I had known that, Kayo does seem good. Kayo is very strong, in my experience. This card is nuts, by the way. I didn't realize that with Ebonfold. This card is actually insane. It's very strong. I could see this getting banned just because in Chane it says pay a resource, draw 2 cards. Okay, so we're getting double Phantom Wraithed. I was having a blast with Acilio. He's way better than I feared. Why would you fear that, Steven? He's your guy. What does this hand do? This hand goes pretty nuts, so I am not going to pay for Rune Chance. I'm just going to put all of my blocking armor in front of what is presenting exact lethal and try to kill the Chane. I think the Runegate Kayo seems really strong and consistent, but I have really been enjoying my Runegate Chane brew, but I think the Runegate Chane deck can have some really bad stumbles. That's my take on it. Block with Knucklehead for sure. Fine, I guess I have to also block with something. Go ahead and block with Clash of Agility. We show a blue Buckwild on top. So, the cost of achieving some serious power. Yeah, like that turn was nuts. And Chane still has double Malefic, 2 Soul Shackles. Like, we are in danger, but we're in a really interesting spot where I can also push a ton of damage. So, I don't know if I need to start with Barkbone Strapping. I think I'm just going to start with the Savage Feast. And yeah, let's break this. We'll get 2 action points. At this point, we can Mandible Claw, Wild Ride without breaking Strapping. If I break Strapping and I get 3 resources, I can play Buckwild instead. That's like really bad. Play the Wild Ride next. I think at this point I'm just Mandible Clawing. Like, want to get greedy and break Barkbone Strapping to try and send Smash Instinct here, but I think we're chilling. I don't need to get greedy. I might need that on my next turn. We're still presenting lethal with Mandible Claw. Chane needs to give me a card. We're hoping he bricks on the Soul Shackles. It's a little greedy. Hey, he bricked on the Soul Shackles. It's a little greedy to break our trackers that turn. I guess we didn't need to turn a Soul Shackle into Nebula Blade for 1 go again. Do nothing? I guess I'll block because this hand doesn't convert. Wow, I really wish I had my beaten trackers. That would have been cool. I will just Bare Fangs for 9. Put Chane into another position where he needs to give me 3 cards to not be dead. We have seen a number of 2 blocks in Chane's deck. Man, if I had my beaten trackers, that would have been really cool. Chane goes to 1. We bank the agility. We get to Arsenal. Pretty good card. Chane just bricks again. Chane do be like that. Soul Shackle, read the runes? Okay. I believe we just win the game with this pulping. I don't think Chane has a way to 4 me on my turn. You can win on any turn out of nowhere and very little you can do about it. I've heard Death Dealer is pretty nuts. Like, evasion in this format is already very good because D-reacts are pretty limited. And there's so much dominate for a format where they're really like, play block cards. There's too much dominate. I'm really surprised that Bravo Flattering Showman gives dominate instead of overpower. Oh, sorry, opponent. But evasion is very good. So yeah, Azalea I can see being very good. Bravo has looked very good. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Death Dealer is busted. I've heard that Death Dealer could get a ban, and it wouldn't surprise anyone. Our Chane did not do cool things that game, so I'm interested in playing this one over again. I would probably want 3 blocks more than a 2 for 5. And Bare Fangs. You're putting me going first. Oh my god, what is with these hands? Sure. I am just going to filter, I guess. Yeah, I've heard people say that Death Dealer could get a ban. Like, it's too good. There are a few cards that I've seen so far where I'm like, I don't think this was it. Just talked about Ebb and Fold as a card that I think could get a ban because it's too good at what it does. In Chane specifically, it's 1 resource, draw 2 cards. I could see Beaten Trackers getting a ban because, like, I didn't use it well in the last game because I had the agility. I really shouldn't have used it when I did, but it's another one where it's like, this is too good at letting Kayo do the thing with, like, Bear Fangs, but especially with Savage Feast, it's really nuts. This is 6 go again. On hit, you make a rune chant. Well, I don't want you to do that, so I will block and hopefully give myself an agility. Showing a Wrecker Romp on top of the deck. It's a little awkward. Interesting choice putting you first. I think it's because they went first in the last game, and this is the rematch, like doing the thing where you and your opponent just trade off going first and second. I would like to play Bear Fangs, but because I know a Wrecker Romp is on top of my deck, I don't want to put myself in a spot where I am potentially pitching the Wrecker Romp to Mandible Claw. I would rather do something more interesting than that. So we get to Savage Feast for 6, Mandible Claw with the 2 floating, and then pitch Wrecker Romp to play Bear Fangs. So threatening 15 damage on turn 2, and we have not used any of our equipment yet. Chane on 1 shackle. We're also going to float a resource throughout this entire turn, which is great because I get to pay for Null Rune Gloves if Chane has Sigil of Suffering. Likely give us the Blade Beckoner Boots here. Works for me. And just push another 7. Chane gives us maybe this last card, or like plays a Malefic. Read the runes. Okay. I mean, this is great for me. Make a rune chant. I assume make a shackle. This hand, yeah, just plays Pulping. Does Pulping Claw Wild Ride? There's a world where I arsenal this Wild Ride. It isn't this one. So this is also threatening lethal, going 7-3-5. I'm threatening 15. Blade Beckoner Boots doesn't get Chane out of it, so he has to give me another card. Yeah, Kayo seems nuts. When Kayo's doing the thing, Reduce isn't bad. Definitely gets Chane out of lethal. Boots here. Yeah, we're still just sending the Wild Ride. I have Beaten Trackers, so I'm not concerned that my next turn won't convert. If I find a Bear Fangs, a Savage Feast, any of my other 3 Wild Rides, my other Pulping, like, you see where I'm going with this. Our hands convert very well and push a ton of damage. And Chane showing us why Chane really wants to go first in this matchup. Chane showing us that maybe a bunch of 2 blocks aren't good. I was supposed to block with Trackers, not Strapping, when I did do that at one point. I don't care about any of this. I'm at 20. We've got a Deathly Whale coming for 5. Give my Trackers here for sure. I could block to prevent Chane from getting the Rune Chant, but I'm fully expecting to win the game this turn. I'm going to play Savage Feast. I'm going to pitch Mighty Windup. I'm going to use my Trackers to cheat the action point. We even get to... Oh, we don't get to keep the Wild Ride. I spoke too soon. Oh, oops. Do that. Do that. Submit. I do need to break my Beaten Trackers. See what we draw. Looking for a blue. Yellow works too. At this point, looks like, yeah, just Mandible Claw, Clash of Agility. Not like the most insane tracker's turn, considering that we had a wild ride. Reduce. It's no problem. Mandible Claw threatens lethal. Get a card out of Chane. I'm actually going to break my strapping here. If I make 2 resources, I don't. Dang. If I got 2 resources, I would have gotten to play Clash of Agility for free and Arsenal the Wild Ride. So a 50% chance to keep an Arsenal, a 100% chance to threaten lethal, again, strip Chane's hand. Like, it's fine. That was, I don't want to call that greedy, but we're in a winning enough position that I feel okay about it. The real greedy play was breaking our trackers there. So that now this hand wouldn't have converted anyway. If we had our strapping, we might have been in a position where we could, like, roll, get a 4, Mandible Claw, discard, give it go again, give him a piece of your mind. Instead, we're just going to Strongest Survive. And I think I am going to hold the Clash of Might. Just in case Chane... What? No, I'm not. I'm going to overpitch because I don't want that card in my hand. I want to draw go again. And we get to Arsenal of 2 for 7. This not only represents lethal, but also represents, if it hits, Chane probably loses a card. But maybe not. See what happens. Ebb and Fold, draw 2 cards. Phantom Wraith will be able to attack and does threaten lethal, which is very cool. So Chane gets to give me all 3 cards, not be dead, and also send 10 damage back. Meanwhile, our hand does threaten lethal. Chane finds the Phantom Banshee, which threatens more damage, but still isn't lethal. What am I doing my turn? I would like to Buck Wild for 5 go again into Give Him a Piece of Your Mind, which means that I am blocking with red Strongest Survive and Knucklehead. So I'm taking all of this damage. I'm going block, block, going to 3. Sending Buck Wild for 5. This will get 2 cards out of Chane. We also, if it matters, get to pitch to Null-Rune Gloves if we see a Sigil of Suffering. Can't double Rune Gate this turn, yeah. I haven't been following it, but I put a list together and kept being like, God, this deck is gross. Kayo is really nuts. In my experience, Kayo just does gross stuff. Okay. Let's let opponent optimize their blocks, I guess. I don't think it matters. I think they played both reduces. So the only D-React that could get them out of it is... Yeah, and then we pay 1, and then Chane dies. Yeah, KO's gross. And like, we're not even playing it well. I like don't need to be using my trackers when I use them. I could be waiting on the trackers because I have just been drawing Savage Feast and Wild Rides in the same hands. I played enough KO to know it's solid. Pack Hunt over Give Him IMO. So I'm playing Pack Hunt against Rhinar. That's kind of, I'm going to go first because I'm supposed to go first against Rhinar in CC. We'll play 3 blocks. Play Pulping because you also don't have good D-Reacts. Play Bear Fangs. I think I cut Red Strongest into Rhinar and play Pack Hunt instead. Wild Claw Pack Hunt is oppressive. When Wild Ride or pulping into Pack Hunt is so gross, is worth playing Predatory Assault. So the reason I like Give 'em a Piece of Your Mind is it's 2 for 7, which is just good, right? It's good numbers. Just do the thing, push some damage. Follow up with a Mandible Claw, Arsenal Wild Ride. Bone Vizier. Okay. Sure. I'm just letting Rhinar filter, I guess. Okay, I see the list now. Yeah, it's also in... Oh, I didn't update the Dex command. I don't mind getting a Savage Feast out of Rhinar. So I have Pack Hunt in for Guardian. I just don't like it against like aggro races because it doesn't do the numbers. Let me pop open Nightbot. Let me grab Dex. Let's update this one like I'm supposed to. Update. Okay. Dex. Deck. All right, the spacing isn't good there, but what are you doing? Something's happening to me this turn. See, so this is why we didn't want to let Rhinar go first. Yeah, this is pretty nuts. What just happened to me? Yeah, so I'm taking damage this turn. In my hand, okay, yeah, no, that's pretty good. I take 11, I go to 9. My crackback is not very good. I think I don't block with Mighty Windup, though. Which one is Rough Up? Is Rhinar and Blitz too? Yeah. It's very much like, did you draw the thing? Like, it just isn't, it isn't consistent, which is why I'm not like, oh, I think this is going to be a top deck. Cheetah Resource. Does this let me do anything cool? No. So I'm not breaking my trackers this turn. I'm going to Mandible Claw, Pack Hunt, Arsenal, Strongest Survive. Yeah, because Rhinar still has armor, so I can't even play the blue Strongest Survive and say, oh, well, Rhinar's going to let it. Rhinar's going to have to give me a card from hand. Like, no, if Rhinar, this is only attacks for 5, Rhinar can just say no blocks and then show me a 6. Not great, and I suspect we might be dead this turn. I love Rhinar. It's, God, it's so high-rolly. Bone, okay, and that now I understand why it's Bone Vizier, just to make sure that the draw discard doesn't miss. Card revealed, yep, Rhinar has a 6 on top. Arsenal this. Rough Up is the same as Give 'em with 0 downside. Let me open Fabry. Rough Up. There's a card with 6 or more. Okay, yeah, I like it. Okay, when you attack with Ravenous Meat Axe, draw a card, then discard a random card. Okay, so you're attacking me for 11. I'm going to get to block the Meat Axe with Gauntlets, so you're actually attacking me for 9, which means I do need to block. What am I doing with this hand? I mean, I could go to 1. And then I am... I'm gonna play the Buckwild. The Strongest Survive, so I guess I'm blocking 6 here. I guess I'm blocking 4, taking 2, going to 7, blocking 2, going to 4, and then playing Buckwild Strongest Survive. And I'm like not thrilled about it, but I am threatening lethal. I'm hopefully making Rhinar respect something that I'm doing. As much as the last 2 games that I've played have been like, wow, this is really doing the nuts. This one is less doing the nuts. I don't feel like I've been drawing the good KO hands. Also getting domed for 15 on turn 2 was not ideal. Yeah, no, Rough Up is definitely going in over Peace. I mean, but at the same time, I'm like, maybe Rough Up goes in over something else. Like, maybe Rough Up goes in over Yellow Bear Fangs. Like, 2 for 7s are just good. I don't know that I need to limit the 2 for 7s I'm playing. So we're sending 13. Rhinar will need to give us at least 1 card from hand, possibly 2. My hope is that Rhinar has to care about the Strongest Survive on hit, but I'm guessing he won't. I think we could have gotten there this game if we drew a little bit better than we did. We needed more draw discard than we actually saw because I never got to use my trackers. Yeah, this just covers 5. I assume we're dead, but definitely make Rhinar show me that. Losing discard outlets kind of sucks. If for whatever reason we only need to block with Clash of Agility, no, Rhinar gets to do the thing that I wanted to do. Losing our Wrecker Romp sucks. That's a card I did want to block with. You show us a 2 for 7. Okay. Like it over give him Bear Fangs gives you might, so it's a 2 for 8 kinda. Yeah, that makes sense. We're dead. Unless this misses. This did not miss. Good game. Wow, we both did 19 per turn. It's pretty nuts. Okay, let's very quickly update this deck with the Rough Up. I like that. Rough Up. Goes into deck. Give him a piece of your mind, leaves the deck. Cool. Yeah, that was a close game. Very draw dependent. I do think we were supposed to go first there, so I don't mind that. It's sad that we couldn't push damage going first. Not that I'm really expecting to. Rhinar plays a bunch of block 3s too. Rhinar had the good turn. I don't feel like we had the good turn. Icelander, run AB2. Icelander's playing Bullander for the most part, so it isn't even like having block value in the deck is bad. I'm gonna try AB2. I'm just not super familiar if that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Just trying it out, learning the new format. GTO was playing Rhinar Jacob. That was nuts. That was a really good game. It felt closer than I think it actually was. I felt like, oh, if I got to do the good turn, then I would be in there. Both of the 19 per turn. Yeah, your turn 2 was insane. I couldn't. I can't keep up with taking 15 on turn 1. That's pretty good. Pretty nuts, as they say. One good thing about AB2, maybe this is a going first or second thing against Icelander. I do want to go first if I can. Maybe if I go first, I'm supposed to play AB1. But going AB2 against Icelander does feel pretty good because I get to mitigate more damage. So this is going to do 4. And I'm going to have to pitch. Oh, you're not fusing? This doesn't super matter. Am I supposed to pitch a red here? I think I will. What does this hand do? This hand does Buckwild Bear Fangs. And we feel pretty good about it. I even get to pay for a Frostbite if I need to. Icelander didn't fuse with this card, which doesn't tell me anything because it could very well... I mean, like, I'm going second, so I can pay for the Ice Vein fuse effect. Doesn't matter. Wounded Bolt, damn. Icelander just playing into the Wounded Bolt effects. Play Winter's Bite, discards a card unless they pay 1. Yeah, so this is the ice card. So I will pay the 1 here. We're in a weird spot where I get to decide. I can't pay for this right now. If I pay 1 to Barkbone Strapping, yeah, we're gonna break Strapping here. I think it's worth. Roll anything besides a 1, I get to play this Bear Fangs. I'm giving up the point of block value, but I am interested in just pushing as much damage as I can. If Icelander wants to Wounded Bowl me down to 10, like, that's fine. I'm still putting her down to potentially 5. I don't want to Arsenal anything because I don't want to deal with Glacial Horns. This one do. You play this turn, destroy a frozen card in their arsenal. Yeah, so this all, if I can avoid arsenaling into Icelander as much as possible, I would like to. We're up 13, we bank a Might. We draw into a pretty solid hand. Scar first car says that I block. And this is where I'm thinking, hey, maybe I should be playing Knucklehead because I got 1 out of my Nullrune Hood. I would have gotten at least 2 out of my Knucklehead. Wounded Bowl for 8. You are showing me that you don't have an arsenal. This puts me to 7. I feel like that's okay. I'm definitely threatening lethal this turn. Get to play Wild Ride. I guess I'm hoping to keep this Bear Fangs. That's fine. I don't need trackers. Silver Age Icelander doesn't have Blizzard, so it isn't like I'm going to lose my action point and need to cheat one out. This hand sends 7/3/6, which is like... I don't want to say, oh, it's fine, like it isn't good. It's very good. It's going to kill Icelander this turn. And if not kill her, it's going to strip her hand, and then I'm going to kill her next turn. Like, I'm doing the thing, and if she has any 2 blocks here, she also just dies. But it would have, yeah, it would have been slightly better if we had kept this Bear Fangs. Okay, so we should just win. Unless Icelander was sandbagging and on the horizon for some reason. Wow, I'm even anti-fatigue. You're so good. I guess I'm supposed to say God Gamer, because that's as best as I can get from this deck. Yeah, so we just blow up the Icelander. I'm sort of hit or miss on Icelander in this format. I've played against a few. One of them did the thing of like Wounded Bowl into Ice Bolt from Arsenal snapback combo. And that was kind of neat. I will go first. Okay, let's experiment. If I'm going first, let's play Knucklehead. And just get my extra block value. Oh my god, we even get to pulping on turn 0. We're pushing damage for free. This is a choice. It's very defensive. So without Glacial Horns, I don't need to be afraid to arsenal cards. This hand also just does 6/3/8. And maybe that's good enough where I just keep going. Right? Like, Icelander's playing a bunch of 2s. So maybe this is just good enough where I'm like, okay, show me that you can block. I'm just going to Bear Fangs here. I'm just going to send it. What's an arsenal? I don't need that. Start Icelander at 11. Just do 7 on turn 0. Like, that's got to be good, right? This hand is a hand of cards. So depending on what Icelander does, I don't hate, like, blocking with Assault and Battery, playing Strongest Survive, arsenaling Wild Ride. This is kind of the best case scenario for this deck. Yeah, I don't feel bad about what just happened. Yeah, I'll take 4. I don't feel like I'm going to give a whole blue just to not... I'm not going to turn my blue into 1. I will turn my blue into Pitch to Wild Ride and then hope that I get to Strongest Survive here. Stir the Aether Winds. You may play your next wizard non-attack action card as though it were an instant, and if it has an effect that deals arcane damage, instead that effect deals that much arcane damage plus 1. Are you going to cheat out Ice Vein on me? Because that'd be pretty rude. Okay. I hate it. Are you going to cheat out Ice Vein on me? My god. She cheated out Ice Vein on me. Are you fusing it? No. So if you're not fusing it... I guess I'll pay the 1 because I have 1. Okay. I don't need my action point. I'm just going to get Icelander's hand here and threaten lethal. Give me Blade Beckoner. Alright, go to 5. I could roll Strapping here. And if I roll a 4, 5, or 6, I get to Mandible Claw as well, which does threaten... Well, she just gives me her armor. Now we're just going to Strongest Survive and get the hand. If this is a non-attack action, then Icelander will block with it, because otherwise Strongest Survive just eats it. Is it Fighting Spirit? Is it an instant? Is it you're going to undo your last action so that you can put your card in front of Strongest Survive? Oh, a Scar for a Scar? Okay. I guess. I don't love that for her. I'm just going to put a bunch of armor in front of it. Okay. So this is a Scar in your arsenal? Alright, so you don't even get to interact with me this turn. Let's break Strapping, see what I roll. I get a 6. I'm the greatest player in the world. Actually, I do need to undo that. Now that I'm thinking about it, no, I need to Buck Wild first. I need to Buck Wild first. If I roll a 6, I cannot give Buck Wild go again. Yes, that's an interaction that we need to remember in Commoner. In Silver Age, is that I need to... forgot that a 6 ends my turn. It's sort of like when you would play as Katsu and you either have an energy potion or your opponent gives you a vigor for some reason. Having the 1 resource and then Kadachiing means that you don't have the requisite card in your pitch to give the go again. So like, if we have 3 resources and we play Buck Wild, we don't have a card with 6 or more in our pitch zone, so we don't get to give it go again. Now we will roll our Strapping, which is no longer guaranteed to give us a... Oh, well, never mind. We're the greatest players in the world. If we change our action on Talishar, then you are not guaranteed to roll the same thing. But we rolled a 6 anyway, because we're just that good at Flesh and Blood. We're just God gamers, as they say. Let's do one more with Kayo, because this deck is nuts. And then I'll get some Fi games in. I've not tried Fi yet, and I want to. I've been toying with the idea of Sirens to Safe Harbor as well. If you discard, you gain 1, which is kind of nice. I actually do like that quite a bit. Yeah, I gotta find rooms for Sirens to Safe Harbor, because there's no Blood Rush in this deck, so we don't get punished for not having Brute cards. Which turns 0'd for go again into 10 Dominate against Dash and kill them on the next turn with 14 Dominate. Azalea's messed up. against Verdance. I guess I'm playing Null Rune Gloves with Knucklehead. We're going first. I'm not even going to play Null Rune Gloves. No, I am playing Null Rune because they're interesting. Pulpings are probably out because of that thing they play, Rootbound Carapace. You're actually fine. Humble is in my sideboard too. Turning off some heroes as your buff system. That's something I got to try out. Let's Wild Ride here. If nothing else, I bank a Might. Playing the Null Rune, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to. I'm just not super sure what this hero does in Silver Age. Because she doesn't... So she's playing Rosetta Block Constructed. She's just doing a bunch of amp stuff, right? She's not doing Fellings. She cannot play on my turn. Oh, Rootbound is banned? Oh, I don't know what this hero does then. I should definitely have been playing Pulpings. Well, that's good to know. Maybe for the next stream I'll learn what the ban list is. Besides just not being able to put certain cards in my deck based on what Fabry told me. Yeah, I don't know what this hero does. Is she just full fatigue? Is that good? Like, what does she decompose? I don't mind letting her filter on turn 0, because, like, what does this hero even do? I can get an Evergreen out of her hand? Like, okay. I mean, I'm very curious. This is my literal first Verdance game, so we'll see. I'm just not super concerned about it. All right, so that's the thing she gets to do. Yeah, I mean, tilling is good. So I guess the line against Verdance turn 0 is just Arsenal and pass. Blue Oasis Respite. Oh my god. I don't think you have on hit, so I'm just going to block with all my stuff, because there's also a decent chance that I go off this turn. I have a red on top of my deck. That's a little spooky. I am still supposed to send Wild Ride here, and then I'm just pitching the red into Bear Fangs. I guess I could break my strapping. I just had a judge call at the LL Battle Hardened to ask if a card was restricted. None of it. LL is a... None of us know what's going on over there. Okay. This is probably the best case scenario. I don't need the action point. I get to keep this yellow Bear Fangs in my deck, which is kind of nice. So I'm sending 15. I'm not going to break strapping. Yeah, I could turn strapping if I roll anything that isn't a 1. I turn strapping into 3. I think I can get more out of it. I also think I'm sending 15 this turn, so I'm pretty okay with not needing to like make the risky play. Yeah, LL is a different beast. I am tentatively excited to play it in Philly because I've really been enjoying Viserai so far. Okay. Unmovable for 7. You got it. I guess if she's full fatigue, maybe I do prioritize setup and I just send the Mandible Claw, Arsenal the Bear Fangs, and I can go with Trackers next turn. I don't hate that. Depending on her block, she cannot currently decompose. Back on Kayo I see, but risk is always fun. Kayo in Silver Age has felt pretty nuts so far. Kayo in Silver Age has felt very strong. How is Vis in Sage? I haven't tried it yet. I really want to. I haven't run into it, weirdly. I would have expected more people to be on Viserai than I've seen. I've run into, I think Chane is the rune blade I've seen the most of, which is kind of understandable. This hand goes nuts. So this hand sends Savage Feast, Claw, Bear Fangs at minimum. I am not, okay, like cheesing myself if I break the trackers on the Savage Feast, unlike what I've been doing previously, where I've been breaking my Savage Feast with Go Again in my hand and then drawing a Bare Fangs and being sad about it. So we'll break that, give myself the action point. We keep our yellow, so at minimum, I get to Mandible Claw, Bare Fangs. Chane and Brier seem to be the strongest out of the gate, so to speak. I've been less impressed with Brier because she can draw clunkers and then not be able to do anything with them. I think Aurora is slightly better for like being able to outplay her bad hands, because you can always play a lightning card and then pitch to like block cards or attacks without Go Again into her ability. Well, we are Mandible Clawing here. I believe I am playing Bare Fangs from hand instead of from Arsenal, so that I am guaranteed to keep a Bare Fangs. Whereas if I play this Bare Fangs from Arsenal, pitching Strong to Survive, I might not get to keep this Bare Fangs. Or I could like pitch this one to play this one, and then I'm arsenaling a blue, and I don't like it. I'm playing the Bare Fangs from hand. I am pushing damage onto Verdance this turn. I've seen the 2 red evergreens, so I feel pretty good that I'm not getting turbo fatigued. I've seen 1 red unmovable so far. I like that Verdance blocked with her Blade Beckoner plating on my first attack instead of on my Mandible Claw. Not that it like super matters. I have a weapon that I attack with, so she's getting 2 out of her Blade Beckoner either way. Hello, Talishar? Hello? Is Talishar down? Does anyone know? Is it just me? Or has everyone's Talishar broken? That's not it. I'm currently checking the Talishar Discord to see if anyone else is reporting that Talishar is down. Yes, it does appear to be down. As I'm checking the Discord, Aegisworn says, I'll be pushing an update soonish to add the new Rhinar cards. There's expected to be some brief downtime, but if you stay in your games, you should be able to continue once the downtime concludes. Well, I guess I can stay in my game and nothing will happen. Yeah, this is not ideal, as they say, so we'll go to the home page. I guess just wait. Well, since we have some time, well, hopefully Talishar comes back up. Let me bring us back over to... Where are you at? Want to show you this. Okay. This is the Kayo list that I'm attempting to play. Let's also look at the Phi list that I'm hoping to play next, and I mean, if Talishar comes back. This is Phi. Talishar goes, are the devs for real? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so this is the Phi list I built. Really interested to try it out. Phi does some interesting things. I think, as you can see, again, like victim of Silver Age equipment being very bad for certain classes. Ira has great equipment because Ira has her round the table deck. Phi does not have good equipment. Blade Beckoner Gauntlets, Blade Beckoner Helm, Garland of Spring, ugh. Searing Emberblade is a good card. Tide Flippers is the best thing that Phi has going for him. In-class Arcane Barrier. Also in-class Go Again for finishers, which based on the way this deck is constructed, if it is any finisher besides Snatch or Dragonfire, I can give it Go Again. So I can give Dragon Power, Blue Go Again, Lava Burst Go Again, one of Salt the Wound Go Again. Outside of that, we're just doing typical Phi things with some Flair from the Hunted, stacking our fealties with Display Loyalty and Demonstrate Devotion. I'm on red and blue Brand with Cinderclaw in the main. No Mask of Many Faces. Mask of Many Faces sucks. I'm getting 1 out of my mask if I turn any card into Phoenix Flame. as opposed to Blade Vector Helm, where I get 2 if it is a weapon class. Making fealty, playing brands. The point is to enable Art of the Dragon Fire, which is an insane finisher for Silver Age. 1 for 5 plus 2 is 1 for 7. We get to play Bittering Thorns, which is always good. We get to play Mounting Anger, which is great. I'm not playing Soaring Strike in this deck because I don't want too many 1 costs. Currently, Mounting Anger, Demonstrate Devotion, Bittering Thorns, Dragon Fire, potentially Dragon Power. I should never be playing Cinderskin Devotion. I'm only blocking with it or pitching it. But aside from that, we have the old Fi staples. Blaze Headlong, Lava Burst, Rising Resentment, Ronin Renegade. Snatch is always a great finisher. We have Phoenix Flame in here, the 1 of Phoenix Flame. I'm not playing Rise Up. The card is bad in CC. It's going to be bad in Silver Age. And then moving down to the sideboard. This is where I'm not sure if I'm building this deck the right way. I do have a combo package, but I have it for Guardian, which is where I'm like, do I want to play the combo package into the disruptive class? My thought is, as far as Guardian Disruption goes, it's Crush the Weak and Disable as the 2 that I really don't want them to have. Outside of that, it's like Debilitate, Chokeslam kind of. The other, I don't remember the other ones, Crush Confidence, that I don't super care about, but I need to go over the top because if Guardian is just blocking 4 on everything, I do have anti-fatigue tech in Fi. If I have 2 Phoenix Flames in my graveyard and 2 blues in my hand, on Bravo's turn, I pitch a blue, pick up a Phoenix Flame. On my turn, I play Phoenix Flame, pitch the other blue to Ember Blade, activate Fi, pick up the Phoenix Flame, attack for 1. I'm always presenting 4 on a 2-card hand, forever. So maybe that's what I'm supposed to be playing towards is anti-fatigue into Guardian. My thought is I want to go over the top into Guardian, which is why I'm doing the Flame Call Awakening, 2nd Phoenix Flame, Rake Over the Coals package, and just trying to set up this big turn of like, here's Rake for +6 or Rake for +7. But aside from that, we just have defensive options. Wax On is a good ninja defense reaction for your Auroras, Briers, other ninjas. Getting to block for 5. You should never really be getting 5 points of value from your Wax On because E-Strike for 5 draw a card doesn't exist. But you're still just, like, it's kind of sink below-ish. It's a 0 for 4, sort of, against, like, Snatch. On the Horizon is just fine. You can always pitch it into Fi's ability if you need to cycle it out. Arcane Polarity is just, always solid against arcane heroes. We have Rising Resentment blue for Icelander. It's an extra blue. You can also play it if you hit with it. You can banish a 0 cost from your hand. Icelander gives you a Frostbite. You play your 0 cost from Banish. Cost addition happens before cost reduction. So your 0 cost costs 1 more. And then Rising Resentment makes it cost 1 less, so it costs 0. And then we have Heat Wave for trying to do cute Phoenix Flame stuff. I think I also bring it into Icelander because it's Quell 1. Not sure about the deck. I think it needs some work, needs some tuning. I think it can be strong. It's probably in one of those spots where why would you just play Brier or Chane? But I think with Rake Over the Coals, you can turn it into a pretty good deck with a pretty explosive combo turn. It's just something I want to try. So that's what I'm doing in Silver Age. Talishar still isn't back, and I don't know when it will be back, so I might just call this stream there, unfortunately. A little early, but without Talishar, I can't really play games. So I guess I'm going to call it there. Hi, Brandon. Sorry that you showed up right as I'm ending the stream. Talishar is down currently, so I have nothing to do. One more time? All right, I'm just going to call it there then. I hope you all enjoyed Silver Age Day. I would like to do much more of it. I think this format is great. And I want to explore more aggro decks. I want to start exploring the not aggro decks, like Bravo is very good. I want to try more Guardian stuff. The Fatigue Olympia was kind of neat. Plenty of decks to try in this format. It's brand new, Wild West. like I said at the start of the stream, I think that it is quickly going to coalesce into the 5 best decks. Why wouldn't you be playing Bravo, Chane? Hey, any of the other good ones? Maybe. That must be a URL. The stream is saved. Hello? We're so back. We're so back. I do think this format is quickly going to coalesce into like the top 5 decks. Why wouldn't you just play these? But hey, it's Verdance again. Well, Verdance is trying to fatigue me. I guess I will play the Guardian package. But if Verdance doesn't have disruption, I can just put in brands and do the thing. Sure. This hand almost goes nuts. Jesus, Verdance, calm down. I mean, this hand sets up, right? So this hand gets to go 3, 3, 4, 1, Bank of Fealty, Arsenal, Rake, set up. Fi time. It is Fi time. Finally, after all these years, care to play against the Thrown Together Viscerae after this? I am just going to stick with Talishar for now, but thank you for the offer. I don't want to commit to anything too serious. Definitely go top 5 decks. I'm enjoying Dromai. And Dromai also seems kind of busted. I think if the format coalesces into like Guardian, the format, and everyone's playing Bravo, then Dromai looks a little worse. But if people are just going crazy with like little aggro decks, then Dromai looks great. There are very few poppers. I've gotten there against Dromai with Aurora just setting up like Lightning Press to act as a pseudo popper, shocking the Ashwing to kill it. This hand, excuse me, you're putting together H-Pots? What does this hand do? This hand does Break Fealty, Bittering Thorns, Emberblade, Display Loyalty, Phoenix Flame Snatch? That seems fine. I don't think this is my... No, this could... Okay, yeah. This is a pop-off turn. Verdance blocks 4. I get to Rake. Yeah, because now the Snatch is going to come in for 5. Yeah, we're so up. Okay, the Rake here is worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because it got Bittering Thorns over it. Yeah, 100%. All right, we're so up. So the Emberblade for 5 is fine. Renegade Chane will also beat up on Dromai. Yeah, I believe that too. RKO also isn't bad into all the aggro here. So what does RKO do in the format? Because Fiddler's Green is banned. And I got to think that RKO without... RKO not being able to just be like 0 for 4 deck seems like it has to be bad. Maybe I'm not supposed to break this fealty on this Snatch. Oh, or maybe it just doesn't matter. Oh my god, we even pick up a good card for the Arsenal? All right, well that turn was nuts. Verdance, what are you doing? Hey, we found other Phoenix Flame. This was it? Okay, so this card doesn't block, is what you're telling me. Like, this is, you didn't block my Snatch for 5, so you could do this. I guess I can give Helm here. This seems like a Garland turn, so that I can do Rising Resentment, Blaze Headlong, Mounting Anger, Phoenix Flame, pick up Phoenix Flame. feel like there's a way to get 3 out of my Heat Wave this turn. So I break Garland, I play Mounting Anger, I play Phoenix Flame, I break Heat Wave, I close the Chane. I play, no, I don't think I can get 3 out of it. I can get 2 out of it, which I think is fine. Sirens is still a card? Yeah. I can see it. All right. I'm breaking my Heat Wave to get 2. I don't think I can get 3 this turn. I'm pretty sure 3 is not something I can navigate into. But I can definitely get 2. Go ahead and Blaze Headlong. Blaze Headlong is going to turn into Phi. Phoenix Flame is going to turn into Mounting Anger. Hopefully the Mounting Anger hits. It seems unlikely, because I think I'm just killing Verdance. I mean, maybe. I'm pretty sure this just ends the game. Okay. Fertile Ground gain 2? Question mark? Okay. Yeah, no, that explains why the Snatch connected last turn. So this was gross. My value per turn this game is... That seems low. That seems a little low. I was expecting it to be higher than that. Threatening 11 into 21 into 20. All right, so Phi seems pretty good when your opponent just doesn't do anything and plays a bunch of non-blocks into your aggro deck. So that's Rake Over the Coals. I think it's a really strong card. Ooh, Uzuri, that's interesting. Rake Over the Coals into... is a good card in CC. Seems to also be a good card in Silver Age. What does Uzuri do? So you're going to play a bunch of Humbles and stuff. Oh, is this the same opponent? All right, cool. Am I trying to combo you? Wax-ons are going to be bad. I guess I can play Rake. Sure. Let's give this a try. I don't know if this is right. Starting point, Mask of Malicious Manifestations, put a card from your hand or arsenal bottom of your deck, destroy, top card of your deck, okay, find an attack. This is an interesting spot. I guess I'll block 6. Run a Renegade, that's a good card. What are you going to Uzuri this into? Double Trouble? That's pretty good. I take 2. I lose the top 2 cards. Uzuri gets to dagger me even? Uzuri gets to dagger me even? Yeah, I mean, I'm taking 1. Okay. Pushes 3 damage. I don't get... Pushes 3 damage, but she doesn't get an arsenal. Oh, and suddenly this hand is very bad. So what am I doing then? Man, if I had these 2 cards, this hand is a good hand of cards. I think Riptide might do well with all the aggro heroes too. I can see it. I can break Garland, Mounting Anger. That's just not good enough. I'm just gonna Mounting Anger for 4 go again into Snatch. 3 card 8 is not where I want to be, but not having the blue. 1 is bad, and 2 I think is fairly unlikely. For how many blues are in this deck? I'm playing 10 right now. Statistically, I should have a blue in every hand. Is you're giving me 3 cards? Yeah, you don't have to do all that. Maybe your hand is just bad. You're a little late. This hand is pretty good. Guess I'll give Blade Beckoner here. I don't think this super matters. I have a Salt the Wound on top of my deck. Uzuri into what? Death Touch? Oh god, Death Touch is legal in this format. Frailty is getting 1, so I think it's worth playing the Rake here. I get 4, and those were both my On the Horizons. I'm going to bank a Fealty out of this. Maybe I'm not supposed to play Rake. The question is, what disruption is Uzuri playing that I need to care about? The only one I can think of is Cut Down to Size. So maybe I do just go. I'm just trying to think of what disruption Uzuri's going to have that actually prevents me from comboing off with a 5-card hand. We're going to see, right? Just exploring more of the format. Searing Emberblade sadly only comes in for 3. Because of Fealty. And then we get to Phoenix Flame for 2. Maybe I was supposed to wait on the Rake because I know the top card of my deck is Salt the Wound. But again, I am just thinking, like, how is Uzuri going to disrupt me? Fealty makes this hand sick. I guess this is where I use my gauntlets. Because I get to cover the piercing. And then I say no blocks. And see what Uzuri's into. Okay. 7 go again is pretty nice. Into Infect, this will put me down to effectively 4. Razor's Edge puts me to effectively 1. This hand does really gross stuff, so deal. Stains, really? Alright, so go to 1. Break Fealty. Yeah, okay, if I still had Rake, this turn would be insane. Maybe that's the takeaway. Frailty Trap, that's pretty good. We're still threatening quite a bit of damage this turn. I have hit 1 time. So I'm threatening lethal. Uzuri will need to give me another card. And probably go to 2. Then with the last card in hand, I mean, we'll see what it is. The Blood Rot here is going to put me down to 1. Oh, I just get there? You were at 3. Surely you block with Humble. My next hand just wins the game. My next hand, I still have a Fealty, so my next hand gets to potentially block 5. I block 7, and then do Garland, Fealty, Fire. All right. I guess I just hold the Rake against Uzuri. She just doesn't have the disruption in Silver Age that she needs to stop. Oh god. Why am I playing against all the assassins? Against New. So you are not playing Mask of Recurring Nightmares. Does that mean that or Prognosis, or Bonds? Wax On is probably good against you. And I do like mini combo stuff. That's interesting. This hand is not good. I can Garland, pitch Fire to Emberblade, pitch Rake to Demonstrate ours. That's, no. We're lost in the weeds. Actually, I'm going to... Let's see. Let's see if I can be aggressive into New. Pitch our wax on, arsenal our rake. The only assassin that I think can disrupt me from combo is Web of Deceit. Is anything that marks and plays Mark of the Funnel Web, but I don't think I'm overly concerned about that. This hand is fine. Hand is fine to good. How much do I care about this Mistblade? So what am I doing on my turn? I would like to Mounting Anger. I would like to break my Garland, Mounting Anger, Searing Emberblade, Demonstrate Devotion, pick up a Phoenix Flame, play it, pass, bank a fealty, hold on to Rake. I'll block with Helm, I guess. Force New to commit more resources to second Mistblade. I think this might be a matchup where I'm supposed to use my Blade Break equipment on not daggers first. Block something for one and then block a dagger for one because they don't have piercing. Okay, that's a good takeaway from New. Yeah, I mean, I'll take 4 from this. I will take nothing from this. All right, Wax On looks pretty insane. Wax On here, preventing my casual 1 for 9, 0 card 9. Oh, you're gonna do this? All right, we'll accept. Good news, equipment. This is okay. I accept. I accept what is happening to me. Definitely making, yeah, a good showing for don't block Mistblade. Don't let my first block with Blade Beckoner be a Mistblade. Because if I take the Mistblade there, I get to block 2 on the Infect. New spikes over. And then I get to Wax On for full value. I'll take 4 at the end of this. But I'm threatening 4, 8, 11, 12 damage from 3 cards, sitting on this Rake and banking a fealty. And if New can't disrupt me, then I will just blow her up. I've done it before. Sure. Emberblade for 3. Hey, Darkodius. Came just in time to see me play a deck that I know how to operate it. What does New even do in Sage? Currently, nothing that I'm super impressed by. Giving the blues go again is like fine, but like it turns Mistblade, Infect, turns Infect into 0 for 4 go again, but it took you 2 cards to do it. You spent 2 cards to do 5. Seems like a good Rake. It was 4 out of Rake. I think I can get more from it. Like here I can get 5 from Rake. So you transcend, and then that's it. It makes the Mountain connect, but the Mountain can't banish anything because I don't have a Phoenix Flame and the Demo Devo costs 1. Because my line was Mounting Demo Devo Emberblade Phoenix Flame. It didn't, it had to be my first chain link. I think this is also a hand where I'm not going with Rake. I'm just sending 3, 3, 3. I'm sending 12 from this. But Rake is 5 if I do it here. Yeah, I'm just going to Rake. I'm not going to sit on it. I'm going to send a bunch of 0 for 4s. This also changes the new math. So that she cannot easily put herself to 1 to flip the equipment. I do wish one of these blues was not a blue, but Devotion is going to come in for 3, so it's like not embarrassing. 4, 6, 9. Who has to give me at least one more card. I still bank my fealty, which can potentially unbrick my next hand. Not presenting lethal here, but getting pretty close. Although to your point, Darkodius, if this is the flip at 1 health, then yep, she just gets to do it. All right, maybe this didn't work out the way I wanted it to. See what happens. See if I just lost the game that turn. Hey, this hand does things. This hand goes 4, 4, 1, 4. Art of Desire Body. What do you do? Let me turn this up. Oh, Battle Worn 2. Okay. Give this go again. This hand does not block. I don't want to play into reactions. Yep, break stiletto. Cool. Give it go again. Right. Blue 1 time. Never lucky. Oh, I wanted that card. Misplayed for 1. I guess I will block so that I'm not dead if I fail to kill New this turn. But I am going... How do you have resources for that? I guess I will not block this, so that I will die if I fail to kill New this turn. In the land of Blade Beckoner's Temper 2 is king. I agree. Nice thing about this Mounting Anger is it actually has a target if it hits. Yeah, Blade Beckoner block actually losing you the game this turn. Yeah, this was my first experience with Beckoning Mistblade, where I learned that I'm supposed to block something else with the 2 of these first, so that they can each block 1 against the Mistblade. First time playing against New in this format, I don't feel like I don't know, like necessarily got punished for it. Okay. That's pretty good. Oh, not that one. That one. So what I can do here, depending on how New blocks or doesn't, what I think I need to do... Oh wait, this costs 3. Okay, I just die. Yep, I just die. Okay. The Rake turn not being good enough, and then, yeah, New having the block 2. It's not draw blue. She's just going to block 6. Unless she has a chi. No. Yep, so we just die. Okay. It's a good game. Yep, so strictly misplayed around the Mistblades. I don't mind that. Play one more. And then call it. 5 seems good. Yeah, I think probably every matchup is a Rake matchup. Lyeth Goldmane. I guess I go first. And do the full combo? Sure. We did not kill New. No, we could have if I had played it better. I would like to arsenal a card this turn. But I can't just go. I can bank a fealty. What the fuck is my equip? My equip is block 2, combo with Heat Wave, Garland is Garland. Battered, not broken? Jesus, what are they doing? Does Fi not just play the broken Tiger? What does Fi do with the Tiger equips? Like, what? How do the Tiger equipments benefit me? I can't use the Tigers for anything. Like I have to play, I turn the boots, I play the boots, I make a tiger. All right, well, I guess I'm going to push some more damage. Just cash them all in for like free value, but what does that do? I have no Shuko, so I turn a tiger. I use my boots and my arms, and I turn a tiger into 3. Both have Battle Worn 1, then you break them for an... do they both have Battle Worn 1? All right, you're probably right. What does this hand do? This hand does cool things. This hand does brand, pitch, flames, get my other Phoenix Flame, play the other Phoenix Flame. Woof. That's a hand. All right, I can get behind it. Cool, I'll do that. I'm gonna have to get blown up. Thankfully, I'm going to do quite a bit of damage in the meantime. So I get to go 3, 3, 1, 1, fealty 7. And I'm probably breaking Heat Wave this turn. It's like the main reason to be ninja in this format. Okay, I can get behind it. Change the list. Another batter not broken. Opponent's just on it. Heat Wave here for sure. No, I'm definitely Heat Waving here. 6-card Lyeth with +7 seems like it'll be good. Hammerer's turn, I wish. Why did they have to ban hammers? I'm sure it would have been fine. I'm sure it wouldn't have been problematic. I grab the Phoenix Flame, play the Phoenix Flame. Yeah. Take 2 more. Break my fealty. Do you want to go to 7, Lyeth? What do your things do? Alright, this is exciting. Where Lyeth's big turn is just going to be hammer for like 7. Yeah, the chest makes sense too. It probably, I'd have to test with it to see if it prices me too much into like having to do the whole thing at once. But, oh, this hand is fine. This hand blocks not enough. So I take 12, discard Bittering Thorns, pop Garland, play Mounting Anger, Ronin Renegade, Arsenal Rake. I guess I discard Mounting Anger, right? They're kind of functionally the same card, and I don't care about Draconic Links this turn. I forgot about the 0-cost Guardian cards. Seem good. I get to present 8. Maybe. This is Battle Worn 1. Okay, your shit doesn't block anymore. Cool. Lyeth is giving me space. I'm going to Arsenal this Rake over the coals and hope that my next turn is insane. My next turn is fine. What does this do? I get 5 out of Rake. Seems good enough. I'm getting a good game from my opponent. I'm not sure if they have the nuts or if they think I do. Guess I'll give a good game back. I'm scared? Hello? Playing Rake, Tiger Fridge seems nuts because you can cash a fealty for a Tiger to give it a buff. Yeah, no, I see the vision. I'll change the list after this. Opponent with, so far, a hand of reds. I can see why they gave the good game. If they cannot easily pitch to their hero power. Yeah, this is rough going. Imagine drawing 5 reds as a guardian. Hey, there's a blue. Tiger plus Phoenix Flame 5 is really funny to me. Go my tokens. Does mean I get to use my Crouching Tiger token that I made forever ago. Hey, this hand does the thing. Oh, this hand doesn't really do the thing anymore. None of the cards they have blocked with are actions. Ah, you're so right. How right you are. 3-3-3-1. We'll get some amount of cards from my opponent. If I have only actions, imagine knowing what your opponent's cards do. Any action cards. Ah, look at you. This is why you're in Worlds and I'm not. Because you know what your opponent's cards do. Opponent. Opponent says no. Ah, here's the all-red hand. That keeps them alive, technically. Yeah, this went slightly worse for us. I was in Montreal. Montreal was a world premiere. You don't have to win to get into Montreal. They just let you in. The only comp Ariel where that text was ever relevant. I didn't play the calling, though. I was a little baby. I just played side events. Yeah, so that's the stream. Said that we had to lose a few minutes there, but Silver Age fun. Of these decks that I played, Aurora, Kayo, Phi. Kayo seems like the most obviously broken one. I think Phi is probably really good. I'll take Darkodius' advice, play the busted Battle Ward Ninja equipment, and just probably play Rake in every matchup. And Aurora seems like she can do things, but is not going to be good enough in the format. A bunch of 0-for-4s with Go Again could be very strong, but probably isn't good enough in a format where you can't play Channel Lightning Valley, Arc Lightning, and Flicker Wisp. So, yeah. Put out deck text for all these decks next week. I'm going to stream again on Monday at 10 a.m. I think we'll probably just do more Silver Age because it was really fun. And I don't mind taking a break from CC for a while. And then stream again on Thursday and probably do more LL. I think Phi is definitely the one to beat. Brier is scary, but the second she breaks, they cry. That's why I think Aurora is better than Brier, because she can always do the lightning card double pitch to Aurora to make an embodiment and at least filter some of her non-go again attacks out of hand. But I think just sending the occasional 4-card 16 is not good enough to keep up with Bravo and Chane and, like, I don't know, maybe fatigue decks. We'll see. But yeah, super wide open format. Really enjoyed playing it. Thank you all for being here. All 45 of you who are here now, and all 334 of you who checked in. Have a great weekend. Good luck in your Pro Quest this weekend. I'll see you all again next week. And until then, goodbye. Hi, sweetie. Yeah.